Hi, everyone. Come say hi when you pop in. Oh, it's a little slow start today. Please say hi. Welcome to Unique in the Creek. Oh, here we go. There's some comments. Hi, Margaret, Kathy, Patricia, Mary. Hello, hello, everyone. Hi, hi. Thank you so much for joining me today. Mary's on YouTube. Hi, Linda. Thank you very much for joining me. Welcome to Unique in the Creek. My name is Judy. I am a designer on Team Unique. I appreciate your time today. Hi, Miss Deborah, Jennifer. Thank you, everyone. Hi, Lynn. How are you, my friend? Today, it's a really cool day where I live here. We've had a ton of rain and hail. Yes, my ferns, my pots, my, little garden, it's not looking so good. But, Mary, listen, my friend, I'm going to give you a hint of what we're doing today. If you check out the color of my nails, it's a brownish color. Hi, Diane. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Tina Kelly. Does that give you a clue? Anybody? Anybody? Hi, Diane. I love Toronto. I've only been there once, but we had a great time. Been a long time, Margaret. You mean that you've seen me? It's been 2 weeks. Been 2 weeks. Hi, Paula. Okay, so let's get started. Before we get started, though, I just want to preface this. I understand that some of these items may be out of stock, not available to my U.S. friends. We all know that with the border issue, that some things are available to Canadians that are not available to Americans. Okay, I apologize for that. Hi, Pam, Jennifer on YouTube. Thank you for joining on YouTube. Um, Something fall, Linda. Yes, something fall. Hello, Tina Falkenheim. So, I have to preface this because I do apologize that some of these things are not available to everyone. However, I've had a lot of this mesh in my stash for a while. So, um, I am trying to use up my stuff. It's very difficult because I have so much stuff. But a lot of the supplies I use are sold out, no longer in stock, not available, whatever the case may be. If you cannot get the items that are listed in the description box, remember that when Team Unique do the designs on our lives, um, it's not necessarily that you have to use the same items. Hello, Barbara. It's just to give you an idea of what you can do with the items that you have available to you, okay? So I'm going to be doing an autumn flower. And yes, I'm not a big flower person. I don't do them very often. And unfortunately, I don't do a lot of the ones that um, seem popular, like the Ellie. I've never done the daisy chain, the one with the bead, the 3D daisy. I've never done those. Um, I'm sort of I like the pointy, fluffy flowers, okay? So I'm going to use the Rita petal. I know I've used that before. I'm going to be doing it a little bit differently, just because I wanted more than one color in my wreath today, okay? So I'm going to pull you down to the board. Oh, this center. Oh, you have very good eyes, Mary. Yes, not the red center. I am using this center. Okay, this center, I'll show you since we're still here up close. Look at the glitter. This is glitter rope. I don't believe Unique in the Creek has it anymore. I've had this in my stash for, I'm telling you, a year or two at least. Hello, Ruth. Thanks for joining. Okay, so again, I wanted to use things that I have in stock, in my stock, okay? because this bling rope is beautiful. Why I never used it, I have no idea. But I do have other options, okay? If you don't have glitter rope, and we're going to go over that. In fact, I'll just pull them out now. With this design, depending on if you use all 5 rows. Now I'm using rows 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 because I'm going to use this center. But we'll go through the wreath and I'm going to show you that you can stop on row 4 if you use a sign or a center like this, like the brown flower centers, or 6.25 sunflower center. Or if you need, or if you want a sign, you can use an 8-inch sign like this, or any sign that you have available, or a 6-inch sign. Okay, that's available. So again, these are just ideas. And yes, Tina Kelly, thank you. The bling rope is not available for U.S. shipping. And again, I preface this with, I apologize. Some of these things may not be available to you. Okay? Yeah, the sale was fabulous. And I am sure a lot of us, if not most of us, supported the 40% or took advantage of the 40% off sale. I mean, how can you not, right? 40% off. Crazy big sale. Hi, Deborah Vauci. Yes, thank you. It is gorgeous, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to use this because I'm going to show you the flower base. I'm going to bring you down to the board, okay? Just hang on a second. Let me know if the sound and the view and all that is good. Make sure you're straight here. There we go. Hi, Nancy Goracy. Thanks for joining. Well, we're going to use the large board today, my friends. Okay, we're going to use the large board. We're going to use rows 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, we're going to be using all the regular holes on 2, 3, 4. And in row 5, I'm not sure if I'm going to need 4 petals or 8. Okay, so we won't know that until we get there. But this is what we're going to do. Ta-da! Okay, it's going to look something like this. Sorry. Look how all, and I'm using, oh, hi, Judith. Hi, Donna Butler Eiswin. I wanted to use everything. Yes, Margaret, this is going to be a fall flower. I wanted to use all glitter. As you can see, it's pretty sparkly. And if I use that glitter center, it's going to be even more sparkly. But that's what I'm going to, that was my goal, okay? So here you go. This is what we're going to do. On row 1, as you can see, you can't take a zip, well, you could. You can't take a zip tie from this hole to this hole without putting like 3 or 4 petals in there, right? Because the gap is very thick. But doesn't mean you can't use this outside hole for petals. All right? And so what we're going to do is we're going to take the zip tie. Can you see that? The zip tie, we're just going to put it down underneath the board, just like that. And what I did was, look how these are so pretty. Okay? So pretty. But I didn't have a full roll of this green. Okay? So I'm alternating with a different green. Sorry, they stick together. It's really hard to tell maybe on screen. Like this one's more of a, this one here is like a lime green. This is more like, I think it's called apple green. Again, I have the SKUs listed in the description box if you can find them anywhere where you live, okay? So because I didn't have full rows rolls of the one green, I decided to mix and match the greens. So on the outside row, on row 1, we're going to do every other green. Okay, and I'll show you how I rolled it and why I rolled it this way and what I'm going to do with it once I roll it. Because again, this isn't a typical, like a 2-hole where you can put the zip tie in and zip it up. Okay, so what color do I need next? I need this color. Okay, so I think this is the apple green color, I think it's called. Okay, so then you're going to take, you're going to make it a square. So this was 10.5 inches, I believe. So I cut it 10.5 inches. I did wood burn all this mesh, and oh my goodness, we all know how much everyone loves to wood burn. I did wood burn, okay? And if I calculated correctly, we're going to need 56 petals, okay? We're going to need 16 on row 1. We're going to need 16 on row 2. We're going to need 8 on 3, 4, and possibly 5. Okay, so it's going to be either 56 total if I use 8 on 5, or 52 total if I only use 4 on 5. But we'll get there when we're done, all right? So then you cut your mesh to make a square, diamond shape, factory edge, top left, bottom right. Take your point. Now I like to make sure that these points are good, so I just clip these sides right at the get-go. Now, I did my best to wood burn down the grids of the line of the mesh, but sometimes they don't necessarily match up. That's okay. The way this wreath is going to look, it's very fluffy, as you can see. If the edges don't completely match, like this one is a little bit off, it's okay, because it adds, I think it adds to the fluffiness of the wreath. And if you look at your flowers, they're not really like that. They're not perfectly even anyway. Okay, so do your best, but don't stress out if they're not a perfect square. Okay, hi Alicia. And Margaret, yes, the code names are caps. So Judy in caps. If you would like to use my affiliate link, I'd appreciate that. It helps me tremendously. Okay, so then you can do several ways to this. Some people fold the top like this and roll up. Some people just roll up, okay? I typically, this is how I do it. I take it off my table, just roll like I just roll it under just a little bit. If I flip it around, that's what you'll see. You'll just see a little point, okay? Like that. And then you just roll up the center, or as close to the center as you can get. And what you want to make sure is that these peaks, these points, are even. Okay, because you don't want one something like this. You don't want one uneven, right? Because it'll look funny. So do your best. You just move this center. If they're not even, just keep moving it over until they're as even as you can get. Okay, now I'm right-handed, so I take this and I take my index finger and I stick it in there. Okay, because with this way I have to put this petal on, I need a space in here, and I'm going to show you why. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, you can take a zip tie or you can take a rubber band. I'm using a rubber band, and I'm going to go about an inch up. Okay, I'm going to go about an inch up. Okay, so there's a space. There's a hole here. Do you see that? There's a hole here. Now then you look at this and you go, what the heck is that? Well, that didn't fold very well, right? So all you do is you just lay it down on your table. Okay, like that. And you can mold this down so that edge that you rolled up, if it's too high, you just push it down, okay? And then butt up the edges here, like that. And see, it's much better. Like, it did look pretty wonky, right? Hi, Teresa. Hi, Susan. Thanks for joining. Do you know what I mean? Now, on the back side, you can see this isn't even. Don't worry about that. No, no, nay, nay, no worry. Just flip it around and use this side. Now, here's the trick. Because I want these on the board, I'm going to take this zip tie. Well, it might be easier to do it this way. I'm going to take the zip tie and I'm going to push it through that hole. Okay? Just like that. Push it through the hole. Then you're going to take the zip tie. Obviously, you're going to load it on your board. Well, if I can do it. There we go. You're going to take the bottom. I'm having trouble picking things up here. Okay? And you're going to wrap that zip tie right through the middle. Do you see that? Right through the middle. Hi, Liz. Do you see that? Does that make sense? And then you're just going to zip tie this to the board. Just like that. I hope that makes sense. Does that make sense to everybody? So on the board, on the back, you're going to just see from hole 1, or the outside on row 1, to the outside of the board. And then you're going to see it go right through the middle of that petal. Now, if you didn't do that, and you just put the petal in, well, I guess you could, I guess it could still work. I'm just doing it so it's more secure that way. I guess you could just put it in that way. No, you still need to put it through something. Sorry, never mind. Let's back that up. Okay, so then we're going to do every single set of holes, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so we're going to just pick one of these. I'm going to pick this one. And now we're going to do the opposite color, which is this one. So this is a lime green. Now when you butt these up against each other like this, sorry, I think I was thinking to myself, hi Sandy, hi Doris. You can pick your side, okay? I mean, this side's pretty good. You know, I don't see anything wrong with this side. And this side's pretty good. So it has a little bit more gap here. So I'm going to use this side. Okay, so you just pick the side you would like to use and go from there. All right, so we're going to take this here. Sorry. Hang on a second. I think I did something wrong here. Yeah, sorry. I'm not used to this technique. It's kind of new to me too. Okay, so then we're going to go here. Going to go here. And then bring it up through the middle. Sorry, I had it backwards there, I think, for a second. And then zip tie that up. And I pull the zip ties in this way. I don't know if it really makes a difference. Okay, and then the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, yeah. Okay. Sorry. I thought I had one too many. There we go. So we're going to put this here through that hole in that petal. Sorry, I feel discombobulated again. You were wondering about the way that I did it wrong? Is that what you're wondering? Sometimes when you're not used to doing something normally, like, you know, you have to really think about it. Anyway, the reason I decided to use the outside hole is because A, I've never done it, and B, I wanted an extremely large flower, okay? I mean, this is going to be a large flower, no doubt. No doubt. Make sure I'm using the right greens. Again, pick the side of your petal that you think looks good. This wreath would also, you know, I did the Rita petal because everyone, well, not everyone, but if you have watched me at all, you know I like the bubble petal. It's my favorite petal, but the Rita petal is also a very pretty petal. And I like fluffy, the pointier wreaths as opposed to the, like a daisy chain wreath. They're beautiful, okay? But they're a bit too small for me. If I just did daisy chain on here, I like them wider. So that's why we're going with this style today. And I know I've done the Rita many times, but I haven't done this with row 1 and alternating meshes, okay? So again, if you have open rows of mesh that you just don't know what to do with, but they match, you could do something like this, right? And again, you don't have to do row 1. You can do a different alternating colors. You can do whatever you like, right? But I think this is going to be pretty. Okay, so we'll fiddle we'll fiddle with these a little bit. I think this side's a little bit wonky, but that's okay. We'll fix it. Okay, so then we need a bright green. Again, I just kind of manipulate the bottoms a little bit and look at which side you like better. Okay, I like this side better actually. This is the hardest part, just grabbing that zip tie. Make sure your zip tie is facing the right way. So any questions? I know this is kind of boring, I'm sorry. You could also share hose on road. Yes, you could. I'm not using any shared, I'm using all regular, but if you, did I skip a hole? Oh no, that's a hanging hole, I know. This one here, Lynn, you kind of have the hanging hole here. That's why I had to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14, 15, 16, right? You could pick this one, or you could even make another hole, I guess, and do this one. But it looks like I skipped a hole, but I actually didn't. It's just the hanging hole. I wonder if I should put, no, that's okay. All right, where were we here? Here we go. We're going to go lime green. And again, some of these petals, the edges don't really match evenly, but I don't think that will make it look weird. I think it'll just add to it a little bit. You know, gives it a little bit of different texture and character. Nothing's perfect. Trust the process. Yes, thank you, Tina. Shouldn't that petal by the hanging hole be over one? Okay, let me take a peek. Maybe it looks weird, eh? From you guys' angle. Let me take a peek here. Am I supposed to put a petal in both hanging holes? I mean, if I did, I'll have to go back and take all these out because the colors won't match. See, the hanging hole, I could either take this hanging hole, right? Or this hanging hole. Either way, there's going to be a gap here. But again, I don't think it's going to matter because there's going to be so much other mesh on there. Let me see the comments. What is... Does the one side have the factory fessing up on both? No, Tara. When you look at the petal, one will have the factory edge here, and one will have it on the bottom. So that's why you can pick. But you can pick which side you use, right? Like this side here, I'm not going to use this side because these edges don't match. But over here, the edges match better. So I'll use it this way. Does that make sense? But the hanging hole, yes, it might be, I think it'll be fine. And if I have to go back in there, well, I don't think I will have to, because otherwise, like I said, I'll have to change all the greens. But let's just keep carrying on. Let's see what happens here. It might not look good, very good. I might have to do every other petal. Maybe it'll be too much green. But I think it'll look okay. Hi, I think it will be okay. Sorry, my hands are really sore today, so I'm having trouble picking up these zip ties. Okay, so then you just kind of butt them up against each other. Oh, let's see here. I think I'm losing my comments here. Oh, Lynn, I put the zip tie in the middle of the hole and then around the board, and then I bring it through the middle of it. So I'm actually doing both. Does that make sense, my friend? Okay, so I'm going to put this through my petal, the zip tie, and I'm going to take that zip tie and put it on the board, and then I'm going to pull it between the two middle petals and zip tie it up. Does that make sense? Yeah, I think it will work too, Kathy. And again, you know, one thing about Unique and the Creek boards, if you don't like it, you just redo it. Oh, that is going to be big. Okay, I need to fold another petal. So again, whatever colors you're using, just make a square. Okay, this was 10.5. So I did 10.5, factory edge, top left, bottom right. And I did leave petals on each row, okay? Because otherwise this video, if I had folded all the petals, it would probably be only 35 minutes, which would be like a record for me. Because you know I talk so much, they're always long, eh? Oh, hi, Carrie Mary. I didn't see you pop in, my friend. Did y'all watch Carrie Marie on Tuesday? With her character board design. It's perfect. Perfect design. I think I might even try it. I've got some character boards and vinyls here. And I love the way Carrie Marie did hers on Tuesday. So if you hadn't seen it, go to the YouTube channel. Check out Carrie's playlist. It'll be there. And if you want to watch any of mine again, you also go to the YouTube channel. We all have our own playlists under our own name. And they also put them in the type of board you use. So if you know it was a round, or not a round board, a large board, you go to the large board and ring board, whatever, okay? Do you, Kathy? Some people don't like the talking, right? But I'm a talker. Okay, so again, when I folded that petal, after I put that band on it, it was a little wonky, okay? So all you do is you just lay it down and you kind of manipulate, especially with the elastic bands, right? You can push down those edges so it lays better, all right? And then you have your petal. Oops, sorry, wrong way. So see here, this one has a little bit of space here. This one does not. So I will probably use this side. Okay? So let's get the board. I should have probably done row 2 at the end. This is going to be so big. It's okay. We'll figure it out. I may have to stand quite a bit during this one. Yes, I'm going to try your design, Carrie Marie, one of these days. Okay, and then the last one here. Let's pick the side I want to use, which is, I think, this side. Oops, my zip tie is in backwards, of course. Again, I apologize. My hands aren't working very good today. And my leg is killing me. My back is killing me. Oh my goodness, my shoulder hurts. What else, right? All the aches and pains of aging. Okay, my friends. Let me see how big this is going to be actually once I'm done. if you took a point of a petal to another point of the petal, it's about 30.5 inches. So my friends, that's going to be a large wreath, but I wanted a large wreath. Okay, so here we go. On row 2, I'm using every shared hose, so there's 16 petals. Okay, I'm doing 8 of this Deluxe foil, bronze copper, I think it was called. Okay, sorry, I have to move my laptop a bit here. Sorry. Hold please, hold please, hold please. Okay, there we go. Now, I'm using this Deluxe foil copper and bronze. Look how pretty that is. Let me see. Sorry, I'm just catching up on comments here. Kathy says, just like the petals, if you make them, they're wonky on one side. Yeah, you just flip it around or manipulate it, Kathy, okay? It's not a problem. Storage question for signs. Lynn asks, can the metal and vinyl signs be on top of each other? Oh, I'm not sure, actually. I have my vinyls in a cardboard. You know the vinyls when they come in the cardboard sort of like envelope or whatever they come in? I keep them in there. And then my signs, I keep them in a cabinet or right here, loose, like still in their packages, you know, but with their packages still on it. And then or bags, and I just keep them there. I personally don't combine them, but yeah, the reader petal can be twisted. So you could twist it so it kind of looks more like a bubba. You can lay the one on top of each other. I mean, I can show you later if you guys want. Yeah, the bronze is really pretty, really pretty. And then the other one I'm alternating is this multi-wide foil stripe mesh, brown, orange, gold, and moss. Okay, it's very pretty as well. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to load this board. The rest of it's very easy loading. It's every regular set of holes. You can tell I don't make flowers very often, right? Sorry about that. So what I'm going to do, because I find it easier for me, I'm going to put it on top like that. And I'm just going to go around and I'm going to put the zip ties in upside down. Okay? Oh, I'm going the wrong, row 2, sorry. So row 2 first. Some people go from the top of the board, underneath and through. I find this easier for me once I have petals on there. Oops. But whatever works for you, it's all good. Any questions on the petals or the board design? It's actually very easy. I mean, you just make a bunch of petals. You can choose the colors. You can all choose 1 color, 3 colors, 4 colors. Great way to use your leftover mesh. And I wanted to do something fall because frankly I'm done with spring and summer. I've put it all away. So I won't be, well, I have one more design I may do depending on when my next live is. I may do one more sort of summer florally one, but after that, I go away for a couple weeks in July, and then when I come back after that, I won't be doing any more. I'll be doing all autumn, all fall. Okay, so now we can zip these up closed. Okay, so we can do that. And if you're new, close just means this is open, and close is when you close it just until you hear that zip tie click, okay? Hi, Karen. Okay, sorry about this. I should have done this before. Well, we can talk amongst ourselves. Does anyone have any questions? I have a little story time to tell you. Do you want to hear my little story? It's a story about how kind people can still be. Do you want to hear it? Oops. There we go. Okay. A sad story. Well, it's not sad, but we're disappointed. Our Edmonton Oilers, if you watch NHL hockey at all, our Edmonton Oilers lost the Stanley Cup final 2 years in a row. I had a feeling they were going to win it this year. But you know, we believe. So I believe they will get it next year. Okay, so we have loaded rows 2, 3. Oh, I forgot 4. Let's do that. Losing my dang mind here. Okay, I don't know why I stopped at 3. You want to hear a good story, Teresa? Yes, that's true. Okay, I'm going to tell you a story. First of all, first thing I do when I get my cup of coffee in the morning is I check my emails, messages, things like that. It's the first thing I do. I ordered a bunch of stuff from Michael's. They had, I'm in Canada, but they had a 60 to 70% off spring and summer florals or greens, which is huge here because they're so expensive, right? So I didn't want to go out. I mean, I don't drive anymore, so I have to wait for my husband to come home from work. And I didn't want to do that. And so I ordered it online, okay? Got free shipping because I ordered, you know, the standard, whatever it was, $109, I think, for Canada. I had 24 items, okay, that I ordered. And I get a box with 1 daisy in it. It's like yesterday. I get a delivery. It had a 1 daisy. I'm like, 1 daisy? Okay, so fine. It had the bunch of white daisies, or not daisies, dahlias that I had ordered. And I get an email this morning saying that 4 of my items were boxed up and shipped to the wrong person. Would I like a refund, or would I like them to reship it to me? So I said I would like it reshipped to me. So they said, okay, we're going to reship it to you. Sorry for the inconvenience, blah, blah, blah. Then I go to Messenger, all right? And I get a message from a lady in Ontario. And she messages me and says, you know, you don't know me, blah, blah, blah. My name is blah, blah, blah. I just wanted to let you know that I got a package of yours delivered to my house. So I wanted to let you know that I contacted Michael's to let them know. So you should hopefully be receiving an email. Well, I'd already gotten the email. They already had contacted me. And so I went and answered this lady and thanked her for contacting Michael's and contacting me. Like, she had to search for me, right? She said, I hope you're the right Judy Baker. Listen, friends, Judy Baker is a very common name. She said, but I saw your name, and you make wreaths, so to me it made sense that it was you. She didn't know me from Adam. She could have kept those 4 items and no one would have known. Because you know what happened? This is how, I said, how could it have gotten to you? She lives like 4 provinces over from me. And she said it was actually a small box that had my address and name on it, shipped inside of her bigger box of her supplies. I mean, come on. Seriously. How does that even happen? Okay, fine, mistakes happen. But you know what? The nice part of this story is she didn't have to do that. She didn't have to contact Michael's. She could have just kept it, thrown it out, done whatever she wanted with it, and I would still be waiting for those 4 items probably from forever, right? But I thought it was very kind of her to search me, to take the time out of her day, to go on Facebook, search up Judy Baker in Alberta, and find me and contact me privately. I just think that is so kind. It warms my heart to know that there's honest people out there, and I think that's a nice story to tell. What do you think? What do you think? That's my story time. Let's get back to wreath making. Okay, so on row 2, we are doing every other in the bronze gold. Sorry, I ranted there, didn't I? I'm sorry, my friends. Are you all still with me? Are you all here? And this plaid. It was so nice. So you know what? We have nice people in the world. We just have to find them every now and then. Okay, so I have a whole bucket. Okay, Lori's trick, get your bucket. So what we're gonna do, I'll keep these two to the end in case you need to show, you need to see how to fold that again. Yes, Karen, we sure do. So I'm gonna do every other on row 2. This one's the plaid. So I need a bronze. Again, you just take this nub and kind of jimmy it in your hand and see which side you want, okay? This side's a little uneven, you can see. So I'm just going to use this side. This side's perfect, okay? It's a perfect side. Look at that. Wah, 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 wah. Looks like wings, okay? So because I did some in row 3, it's a little bit hard. You're just going to put that nub in there and zip tie it above that elastic band, okay? There we go. Now we'll fiddle with the petals once everything's in. We'll just go around and zip tie those up. Okay. This wreath is so big, I have to make room. Okay. Let me see here. Did I forget? Oh my goodness. Hang on, my friends. I think I made a mistake. Bronze, plaid, bronze, plaid, bronze, plaid. I think I have to cut some more gold bronze. That is weird. Did I not cut it? Okay, hold my friends. I might have made a mistake on my counting. Let's see here. I may have to cut more of this. Oh no, maybe I did cut it. Oh, I know what I did. Beep, beep, back up. Okay, we have to fold some petals. I apologize. I apologize, my friends. Okay, Margaret, we will see you later. I apologize, friends. We have to fold all these gold ones. I thought I did it already. I apologize. If you need to go do something, come back in about 10 minutes. 5 minutes. I should have these done. You know, I follow a lot of Costco and local Facebook pages, and every day, it's nice to see, but every day someone is returning or turned in a wallet to a store, or they found it in a Costco card or something like that. I mean, I'm grateful. That's never happened to me. But when you have, say you have a bunch of kids and you're loading all the groceries by yourself, I mean, it's easy to forget a wallet or credit card or something, right? So it's nice when people return them, because we all know how costly and inconvenient it is to replace ID. Okay, so the Rita petal, I'm just taking my finger in there again and zip tie it or rubber band it up about an inch, just so you have a nub. And then I take it and I fiddle with the base. Well, I have a mesh that's orange. It's called orange. It's a thin laser. And then I also have a what they call brown. Now this doesn't look brown to me. It looks more orange. Like this one with the clip is orange, and this one without the clip is no, sorry. Sorry. Where's the brown? This is the brown. It's hard to tell. Hang on. It looks orange. I'm going to tell you, it does look orange to me. Okay, this is the brown, and this is the orange. On camera, you really can't tell a difference. In person, I can see a difference in person, but in real life, in real life, it looks different, but it does look just orange. Okay, but I do have an orange, and I have a brown, if that makes sense. Okay, so anyway, this is the Deluxe Foil Bronze Copper. Good afternoon, Jean. You haven't missed much, my friend. I'm still babbling about flower making. Again, if you want to watch the replay and you want to fast forward all of this later, so you don't have to listen to my gibberish or watch me fold petals, on the YouTube channel, it will always be available, and you can skip right to the parts that you want. I know some people don't like the talking, so that's always an option, okay, my friends? Don't think that you have to sit through everything. We understand that you don't have a lot of time. Or you're at work, on a lunch break, whatever the reason might be. Maybe you just don't like hearing people talk. Which, you know, some people don't like chatter. I get it. Okay. Put your finger in there. Get your nub. Zip tie or elastic band. So, are you all working on summer still? Hi, Diane. Thanks for joining. See, look at this. See? So, you could do this. Like Tina said earlier, you can fold the reed petal many ways. This is the traditional reed petal, right? Looks like that. But if you wanted, you could just, especially if it's banded, it's very easy to move it. So this is what Lori called the claw petal. Okay, because it looks like a lobster claw or Pac-Man. Boink, 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 boink. Do you, Judith? Thank you very much. I appreciate it. So remember Pac-Man? One of my favorite video games. So that looks like a claw or a Pac-Man little guy. So if you take your reed petal and you just move it over, like take it from here and slip it this way, or you can move it this way, or you could lay it more like so they're not parted. You could kind of overlap them so the tips of your tops look more like a tulip, right? Like if you put that in your wreath as opposed to this. Okay, you're folding the petal the same way. But one has a wider gap. Okay, and this one has a tulip gap. I could have done that. That's pretty too. So all you do there is you just don't butt up the middles, like I told you to at the earlier in the video. See? Or you just move them. Very easy. Very easy petal to maneuver. Okay, so what do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. Hang on, friends. 10. So I must need this. Geez, I didn't count very good. I thought I was so ready. I didn't even come down here yesterday to double check. I did it on Tuesday, and I thought, oh, Monday, Tuesday. I thought, well, you know, I can't sit or stand for any length of time. I have a bad back. Don't know if you all know. I'm disabled, and that's how I came about wreathing, is because I could do it a little bit at a time. And the Unique and the Creek boards are fabulous for that, because if you could only do like part of your wreath, you could leave it and come back in a day, 2 days, 2 weeks, whatever, and you'll know exactly what you need to do where you are at. because I can't do prep and make a wreath all in one day. I don't know how people do that. So like for this one, I cut the mesh one day. Actually, I didn't even cut all the mesh one day. I cut the mesh a little bit one day, and then I came back and finished the mesh, and then later on that day, I came down and did a bit of the design so I knew what I was doing. So yeah, you don't have to do it all at once. Aw, thank you, Patricia. Thank you, everybody. Oh, Carrie, you got a summer order and a fall order. That's awesome. I have to say, my orders, I don't do orders, like custom orders, but my sales have not been that good this year. But again, I haven't been, that as active this season, as I normally am. So, I'm not worried. It'll eventually sell or I give them away. Okay, so on row 2, we're doing every regular set of holes, and I'm doing every other. So plaid, bronze, pick your best side. Just like when you're taking a photograph of yourself, you get your best side. Now I'm going to have to decide which way I want these. I might want this side over the rough edge, cut edge, if that makes sense. So this is the cut edge on this one. This is the factory edge. So I'm going to put the factory edge over that rough edge. Now, you're probably thinking, well, you could have done every other. Yes, you probably could do an every other regular set of holes and and then one on each row after that. But you know me, I like them really full, so that's what I'm going to do. And again, if you don't like the design that you've done, you can always change it. Just clip out your zip ties and redo it. Be careful because the mesh sticks like crazy. And this wreath is so big. Like, seriously. I don't know if I've ever made a wreath with row 2. Like, completely. I've made a sunflower here and there where I'll put a wreath on, or not a wreath, a couple leaves, like just a couple set of leaves on there. Have you all done the outer row completely? Anyone? Because I don't think I have. Pretty sure I haven't. Because I do remember how gigantic this thing is going to be. Like, it's big. And mesh is pretty easy to manipulate, right? Where am I here? Oh my goodness, I counted totally wrong. Interesting. Interesting. Nope, they're down here. Forget it. Never mind. I'm losing my mind. It's okay. I had a moment. I had a Judy moment there. Okay, and then a bronze, which is right here. Okay. And then one more plaid. I love this mesh. I think it's so pretty. It would look even good with yellow, copper, brown. You know, it's a very pretty mesh. Okay. Now let's clip off these zip ties. You know, Carrie Marie, when I first started, flowers were crazy popular. But I find, yeah, my flower wreaths don't sell as well as the ones with my style, my signature style. The deco wreaths with the signs and the mesh and the embellishments, those sell better for me than the flowers. I only make typically 1 or 2 flowers a season, but You know, I think people were getting probably tired of seeing my signature style all the time. So I did start doing flowers because I like them. I think they're pretty. If they don't sell, then you know, I just give them away or hang them on my own door. I have like 5 wreaths outside my house. I have them hanging in a tree because you can put them in your trees and stuff, my friend, too, right? I have it in a tree. I have it on fences, on gates, you know, so you can put them anywhere, right? Okay, so now that was row 2. Sorry for the babble. Brain fart. Yes, Lynn, I have them all the time, my friend. Okay, now we're on row 3. On row 3, what did I do on row 3? This is where I did the orange and brown, thin laser mesh, okay? It looks a little bit, you can kind of tell the difference here now that they're folded, okay? So one's orange and one's, it's called brown. It's actually called brown. I don't think it looks brown, but it's called brown. Okay, so we have, I have these ones already. Let me just pull these out. I have these already, most of these already folded. These are the browns. And now I just have to do a couple oranges, okay? So again, you take your mesh. Sorry. I like to clip my points because this is the most important, really. This is the thin laser orange, and I'm using the thin laser brown. And again, the description, in the description box are the SKU numbers if you can get them elsewhere, because I know, I don't believe, okay, that totally didn't fold right. This is in the inside part of the roll, so it's a little bit harder to roll. Okay, let me just fold this down here. I don't think thin laser is available to everybody. Again, we apologize for that. It's really out of Lori's control. She's doing the best she can to get kits ready and everything that so that they'll be available, or supply so they'll be available to everyone. So please remember, they are doing the best that they can on that. Hi, Luana. You know, I've never changed the setting on my zip tie gun. And I know people have talked about it, but I don't even know. I guess it's this dial here. But there's no numbers, so I don't know. But I just got this a few years back. I've had this for a while, but I've never adjusted it. And it's funny because I didn't even know it was adjustable until somebody said something. And then I thought, well, I don't have trouble with mine, so I'm just going to leave it. So I've never actually adjusted it. So I'm sorry, I don't know. Jackie Blewett's in the house. Hello, my friend. It's so nice to see you. How are you? My goodness, we have been missed. You have been missed. You have no idea. We have missed you. Everyone, say hi to Jackie. So nice to see her on here. Okay, how many of these do I need? I need 1, 2, on row 3. I need 4 orange and 4 thin brown. 1, 2, 4 orange and 4 brown. Okay, here we go. So again, on row 3, I'm using regular hose, and I'm just alternating between the thin laser mesh, 1 in orange and 1 in brown. Okay, so this one will be brown. Oh, excuse me. Hold, please. Hold, please. Talk amongst yourselves. Hold, please. Sorry, I'm back. I'm back. I apologize for that. And I had to answer the door. You know why? Because I had a delivery yesterday, and the fellow said, it's pure later. And I said, if I'm not home, would you just leave it like by the pillar here, behind the pillar? He said, no, we actually, from Michael's, this is from Michael's again, he said, we're not allowed to leave it. So then I would have to go pick it up at the post office if I'm not home today. And so that's why I ran. Well, I didn't really run, but I did the best to get up those stairs and back quickly because I needed that package. I didn't want to have to go to the post office and pick it up. Or not the post office, but the pre-or-later office. So thank you for that. And again, I'm sorry I had to run off like that, like a crazy woman. You poor Jackie. She got the flu too. Here's a zip tie tip. Use it with the curl. Yes. The gun, you mean? Yes. Huh. Is it a metal one, Luana? I've heard there's plastic ones too, and I've heard those aren't as good. Because this metal one I've had since I really started wreathing, which was back in 2021-ish. And so far, knock on wood, it's worked for me. But again, you never know. It might just fizzle. Which things do these days, it seems, eh? Okay, so here's a brown. Okay, so I think that's done on row 3. Okay, so we'll just cut these off again. Any questions? Look how full. It's looking pretty, eh? Oh, Jackie, I hope you're back in a couple weeks. You know, we always think flus in the winter, but yeah, we get them in summer flus. Knock on wood, we don't get them here. Okay, so row 4, regular hose, I am doing just plaid. Okay, so I'm just doing this color on row 4. Now again, you could use any colors, any mesh that you have. One color, both, all colors. You know, I just wanted to use a bunch of mesh because I have a bunch of mesh. Rolls, okay, open rolls. So I wanted to see if I could use those up the best I can because I don't know about you, but I hate having open rolls of mesh. That's why I put so much mesh in my deco mesh wreaths because I don't like having leftovers. Okay, so it looks like I need to fold a couple more of these. I didn't count very well. Okay, so again, take your square piece. Use your forearms if you need to. Oh no, Teresa. In July? Oh God, that's awful. Right in the middle of summer. I don't even know what ratchet means, but thanks, Lynn. I'm sorry, my friend. I'm not as smart as you. But again, mine is working, so I'm not gonna do anything with it because I feel that if I fiddled with it, it would stop working. Yes, Virginia. Hello. Yes, it is the large board. It is the large flower board. And I'm using row 1 as well, so it's a very large wreath. It measures about 30.5 to 31 inches, depending what point you use of the outside petal, but it's at least 30 inches. So it's a big one. I think it'll look really pretty because it's all sparkly. And we all love sparkle, I think. 1, 2, 3, okay. I'm excited to get my Unique in the Creek order that I ordered. I got a whole bunch of new signs. Did y'all get some new signs? I love the fact that there's new designs and new sizes. You can now get a lot of the signs, not all the signs, but you can get a lot of the signs in 10-inch. Because I know I ordered quite a few signs. Okay, so there's your Rita. That's a perfect Rita, actually. Look at the glisten. Okay, so let's get row 4 done. And then we're going to have to decide how many petals we're going to use for row 5. And row 5, I decided to just use the brown thin laser foil. And I just don't know if I'm going to need 4 or 8. I think I'm going to do all 8 because I think I cut them all, so I might as well use them. Because again, that mesh will just sit here, it'll fray, and I won't use it anyway. So, did you take advantage of the 40%? Yes, same Teresa. I know. Can't get a better deal than that, right? Okay, my friends, look at it so far. So far. Okay, it's big. Okay, so row 5. I'm going to do the 4 regular holes first. Then I'm going to probably go back in and put in 4 zip ties and use the shared hose. Okay, so this is the thin brown laser. It doesn't fold as nice as the double foil because it's thinner, right? But it's still very pretty. If you have some in your stock, or you can get some depending on where you live, right? And we will have to use actually the shared hose because of this space. I just saw it, and we will have to use that because we don't want to see the board. Okay. So we'll put these 4 in. Again, the petals might not be even on both sides with some of these, especially the thin foil, if you are using that, but that's okay. Don't worry about it. Now, so what we're going to do, we've done all the regular holes here, okay? We're going to use this set of holes now, the shared on row 5 only. So we're going to need 56 petals if I did that right. 16, 16, 8, 8, 8. Does someone can do math in your head? 16, 16, 8, 8, 8. Pretty sure it's 56. Now, I'm going to plug in my glue gun because I've already done my center of how I attach the pipe cleaner. I do have one more center here. If anyone needs to see how to do that, I can do that for you today. If not, I won't. But if anyone does, you can let me know. And I can show you how I prep my centers, my styrofoam centers. And if we don't need that, then we won't do it. Okay, so I'm just going to fold these last 3 petals. Okay, again, doing the Rita petal. Cut your mesh square, however it measures. Get your points nice. Jackie, what are you watching now? I binge watch. Like, my husband goes to bed really early because he gets up like at 5:30, 5 o'clock. And since I don't work, I stay up later. Always have been a night owl though. But I love binge watching shows. Virginia, you would like me to? Okay, okay, my friend, I can do that. I plugged in the glue gun, so I can show you how I do it. People do it all differently. There's no right or wrong way how you attach your pipe cleaners to the back of anything, but I'll just show you how I do it. I'm actually watching, it's a series, I think it's on ABC or AMC, or I'm not sure what it's on, to be honest, but I'm watching it on Disney Plus. It's called Will Trent Sisters. Oh, I watched that, Jackie. Are you finished? Are you finished watching Sisters? Yeah, I watched it when it first came out. It was good. It's a good show. I'm going to actually hold that down there. That's with Jessica Biel and Elizabeth Banks, right? I love binge watching, though. I have to admit, that's my time after my husband goes to bed. For about 3 hours, I stay up and I watch whatever I'm watching. So I can go through shows like there's no tomorrow. Yeah, Will Trent's good, eh? I had never heard of it. So I binge watched the first 2, and then I wasn't able to record it because I didn't know it even existed. And they didn't have season 3, and I thought, oh my God, they don't have season 3? Because season 3, I discovered, was on whatever channel I had. So I was able to tape the last 3 episodes, and I thought, well, that's useless to watch the last 3 episodes of a season, an 18-episode season. And luckily enough, I was just going through Disney Plus again going, God, they're going to have to add that sooner or later, and they did. Oh, that show, Jackie. Is that the one with, oh, that beautiful actress. What's her name? I keep thinking Sarah, but no, it's not. Zelma? What's her name? I can't think of her name, but I know that show. That was a good show, too. That had Bruce Springsteen's ex-wife in it, right? Okay, so there we go. We're all folded here. Teresa, you like Will Trent too? I know, he's so cute. Okay, so we're going to go back in shared holes. Okay. Now these petals do stick together. It's okay. We'll go back in and we will fix them. They're not going to look as pristine as these ones here probably, because they're going to get a little squished. That's okay. We just want it full and colorful and sparkly. Whoa, that's pretty. Jackie, do you find with your back, when your legs are up, it's more comfortable? Because I've had several surgeries too. I don't think as many as Jackie, but I find when I sit, I can't sit with my feet like on a dining room chair for very long, something like that, because I need my legs up, like, you know. So I have lazy boys all throughout my house. That's the only comfortable way for me to sit. And Susie Kurtz, yeah, that's the same one. I think the other sister was Julianne something, or Juliana something. She was married to Bruce Springsteen for like a hot minute. Okay. Can you see? Can you see how big this is? Look how pretty. Do you like it? Do you like it? Boom. Do you like it? I wish you could see how pretty this is in real life. Oh, Frasier was good too, Virginia. I watched that when it was on live, like when it was actually weekly on TV. Okay, my friends, so you put your, I will show you this. Virginia at least needs to see, wants to see. But this is how I do mine. I put pins, I put a little piece of felt, I do a whole bunch of hot glue, and I pipe cleaner that sucker in. Okay, so we're going to try to find those middle holes that I probably just covered. Let me see if I can poke through here and see where they are. Yeah, try not to cover up those middle holes, but it's kind of hard not to do that with your nub. Not gonna lie. Okay, there we go. So let's take a little pipe cleaner. This is a darning needle. You just put it through the hole and pull it down. Grab your pipe cleaner. Okay, and then this one, I can see the hole, so that'll be okay. Excuse my head if you see the top of my head. Okay, so then you just gently place your styrofoam ball or center. Zip tie it in the back. Make sure it's, yeah, it's not even there. So let's see if I can put that flush down. Now, if you wanted to use an 8-inch sign, you would not use row 5. And depending on what mesh or style of petal you use, you might not even need row 4. Okay, because if you put a sign on here, say you did a sign like this, and I guess you could still put it, but it's going to cut off your petals. I guess you could still do that, right? Or you could still have used like a brown center. I mean, that would have still been good, right? Could have done the standard sunflower center. That still would have been good. But I wanted sparkle, so this is why I use this one. Okay, so we're going to go around, make sure our petals. Now, when I get a picture, before I get my picture, I'm going to go through and make sure that the petals look right, especially in the center, because when you take a picture, it doesn't look right, okay, if the petals are wonky. Well, let's put this up on my door, and I'll bring you up for a second, and then I'll bring you back down to do the center. Oh my God! Look how pretty. Now that's a standard door, okay, my friends? That's a standard door. It's pretty big. Some people might think that's too big. But see, this is what I mean about the petals. I don't know if you can tell, but this is a little wonky in here, right? So I'm just gonna maneuver those petals so they lay better. Because the center petals, depending on the mesh you use, get a little crooked. Is that pretty? Thank you, everyone. Do you love it? Oh, Jackie, accountant too with Ben Affleck. Yeah, that's in my watch list. Yeah, you know, Carrie, I did think that. Well, where did I put it? When I was originally doing the signs or the flower layout, I based those colors on that sign. I mean, because the sign is pretty, right? But I wanted that glitter. I wanted glitter. And I didn't have a 4-inch ball. Now, if I had had a 4-inch ball, because I did have some of this glitter left, I would have done that. But I had a, I don't know what's the next size of ball up. And I didn't have enough rope. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. So again, you can do any colors of mesh that you have, okay? You don't need to do these ones. But again, this is just a design I did because I had that mesh and I was basing it off that sign. But then I decided to do the glitter rope. Because again, I've had it in my stash for years and it's just sitting there looking pretty. Oh my goodness, that is very pretty. Any questions on the Rita petal? Okay, so I did all the rows, okay? I did 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, all regular holes. Okay? So 16, 16, 8, 8, and 8. 24, 34, 44, 56. Pretty sure it's 56. Okay, so that's what it looks like in the back. I'll cut those pipe cleaners off. But this will be a beautiful autumn flower. Okay, come September 1, boom, on the door it goes until, well, depending where you live. Where I live, it would have to come off before Halloween because we probably have snow around then. But if you lived in the southern states, you could put this up until your Thanksgiving at the end of November. And then when you put your Christmas stuff off, you just take this off. If there's a fray, like this frayed metallic, you just cut that off. But I can see a couple petals just here, so when I take the picture, I'm going to go and straighten out those points. Because some of them are kind of stuck together, and you know what I mean? But again, it doesn't have to be perfect, my friends. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's still pretty. Okay? 56 is correct. Thanks, Lynn. Math, I'm not a friend of math. I never was a friend of math. Okay, so I'm going to bring you back down to the board. If you don't want to see me do a center, I just want to thank you for joining me today. I hope you have a great weekend. I may be here next week or the week after. I'm really not sure what we're doing. Summertime, we probably will slow down a little bit. But I'm not sure. I am on vacation from July 5th to the 19th or 20th, 2 weeks after that. But hopefully I will see you before then. So if you don't want to see how to do a center, how I attach the pipe cleaner to the center, then you could X out now. I just wanted to thank you all for joining me today. And if you want to watch how I do that, just hang on. I'm going to bring you down to the board, okay? So just a second here. There we go. Okay. Hi. Okay, so this is going to be quick. Okay, you take your center. Now, I'm not going to show you how to put the robe on the ball. Okay, there's lots of videos. Lori's done them on the Unique in the Creek channel. If you look it up, you will find how she does that. It's very easy. Okay, very easy. This is a 5-inch half ball. Okay. Now, if I had another one, I would have done that glitter rope in this, but I didn't. I had already done this one already, and I only had this one. I had the smaller size. So you can do 2 ways. You can even put a cable mount and glue it on here and just, you know, call it a day. I'm going to use a pipe cleaner. And then I have these U-pins. I have the smaller ones. If you have bigger ones, you can use bigger U-pins. I have these smaller U-pins. I just get them off of Amazon. If you can even see that. The little floral pins of some sort, I think they're called. Now I have a bunch of old felt kicking around. You're just going to need a piece of felt. And it does not matter what color it is. Okay? You just need a piece of felt like that. Glue and felt and styrofoam, they're friends. They are friends. So I have an awl. I'm going to find the center, or what I think is the center, and I'm just going to make a hole. What size are the pins, Virginia? They're called silver U-shaped needle pins, and they are, it doesn't say on the box. Oh, just shy of an inch. But they have this bend in them, right? They have this little hook in them. I don't know if you can see that. I apologize. You probably can't see that. Yeah, or you could use the cable mount if that's easier for you. But I just have these, so I just have always done it this way. I mean, I do it either way. I do whatever way I feel like doing it. I'm just taking an awl or something sharp, and I'm just kind of going down the middle a little bit. And the reason I do that is because I want to stick some glue down there. Okay, so I stick a little glue there. I take my pipe cleaner, and I take that point of the half, right, and I just stuff it in that hole. Like that. Okay, Virginia? So you have that like that. Okay? Now, I don't feel confident enough that that little bit of glue is going to keep that pipe cleaner attached to this half ball. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece of felt, okay? I'm going to glue, actually I'm going to take a little bit more glue across that center. Then I take this piece of felt, not with my fingers, and press that down like that. Okay? Then I'm going to take these floral pins. I'm just going to take it, I'm going to make sure I'm putting it atop the pipe cleaner and the felt. I'll show you when I'm done here. And I just do 2 just to be on the safe side. Probably don't need it. Again, if you did a cable mount, you wouldn't need these pins at all. So whatever you have, you can use. Okay? I don't know if you can see. So there's the felt, and then I put glue underneath it, and then I put these 2 pins. And then what I'm going to do, on top of that, I just fold my pipe cleaners, twist them a bit, hold them down so they don't fall out. Okay? And then I'm going to take my hot glue gun and I literally go over that felt on all sides, across the middle again, across that felt. And you can put as much or as little glue as you want. And let it dry. And that is not going to go anywhere. Does that make sense, Virginia? Or anyone who has never done that before? Okay. Is that good? Or the cable mount. If you have the cable mount, you would just hot glue the cable mount to the back of the ball like that, and you'd also have your pipe cleaner on that. So whatever's easier for you. Okay, I just have pins and felt and pipe cleaners. I also have tried cable mounts. That also works. But I know with that felt and that glue and those pins, that sucker is not coming out of there. Okay. So that's how I do it. Oh, you're welcome, Virginia. Okay, my friends. So that is all I have for you today. That is all I have for you today. I want to thank you for joining me again. Here she is again. It's beautiful. I hope it inspires you to make something on the large board, small board, whatever board. All the items are in the description box below. Pretty, right? Again, it's about 30 inches across. If you don't want it that big, don't use row 1. Just go row 2, 3, 4, and 5. Or if you have a bigger sign or a center, you probably only have to use rows 2, 3, and 4. Okay? Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. I appreciate your time. I really appreciate you joining me. You're great company. I hope I can teach you something or show you something new every now and then. Thank you very much. You all are so kind. I appreciate it. Again, if you go shopping to uniqueinthecreek.com, please consider using my affiliate link. Code, it's Judy in capital letters, Judy at checkout. It's always greatly appreciated. It helps me tremendously, and I appreciate your support. Okay, so until the next time, happy crafting, stay safe, and we will hopefully see you soon. Okay, bye for now.